Imagine growing up with your grandfather's name on every grocery store you walk past. Imagine a family fortune worth $9 billion. Imagine having every door in the world wide open and choosing instead to spend your life chasing a little white ball across fairways for years with almost nothing to show for it. That's the story of Kristoffer Reitan. The Reitan story begins in 1948 when Ole Reitan opened a single grocery store in Trondheim, Norway. A modest shop, a working-class city. Nobody could have predicted what was coming. Ole's son, Odd Reitan, took that foundation and turned it into something extraordinary. In 1972, fresh out of university, he opened his own shop in the place he called Sjokkpris, which translates literally to shocking price. 7 years later, in 1979, he launched something that would change Norway forever. Rema 1000. By 1990, every village in Norway with more than 10,000 people had a Rema 1000 store. Then it spread to Denmark, Sweden, Poland, Hungary, Slovakia. Today, the grocery empire Odd now solely owns Reitan Gruppen, employs 38,000 people. Forbes estimates the Reitan family fortune at around $9 billion. $9 billion. And somewhere inside that empire, a boy was growing up with a golf club in his hand. Kristoffer Reitan was born on March 8, 1998, in Oslo, Norway. His father is Magnus Reitan, a businessman at the heart of the family empire. His mother, Siv Bida, is a trained nurse. Magnus, as a keen golfer himself, introduced Kristoffer to the game at a young age, and from the very first swing, something clicked. Now here's the thing about being born into a family like the Reitans. The pressure isn't to succeed. The pressure is to choose. Do you walk into the boardroom? Do you take your seat at the table? Or do you bet everything on yourself, on a sport, on a dream? Kristoffer chose the dream. His junior career was decorated from the start. Individual titles came quickly. The Valderrama Boys Invitational, the Italian International Under-16 Championship, the Scandia Junior Open, the Junior Orange Bowl Championship. He grew up representing Norway at multiple age groups, and he was regularly in the same national teams as a certain Victor Hovland. That's right, Reitan and Hovland. Two kids from Norway, grinding through junior tournaments across Europe, pushing each other to be better. Together, alongside Kristoffer Ventura, they led Norway to a runner-up finish at the 2013 European Boys Team Championship and won the team title at the 2014 Toyota Junior World Cup. In 2016, Reitan represented Team Europe at the Junior Ryder Cup in Minnesota. He won 2 points from 3 matches, one of only 3 European players to win in the singles. By the time he was 17 years old, Kristoffer Reitan was one of the best young golfers in the world. In 2017, Reitan signed a letter of intent to play college golf at the University of Texas. Big school, big program. It looked like the perfect path. But he changed his mind just months before enrolling. He played only half a season at Texas before deciding to leave and turn professional in 2018. And he did it as an amateur, qualifying for the DP World Tour at Q School, the only amateur to earn status that year. But first, he had one last chapter to write as an amateur. In 2018, Reitan became the first Norwegian in history to qualify for the U.S. Open. Standing on those fairways as an amateur, competing against the best players on the planet, it was a statement. Then, just weeks later, came a moment that felt like a scene from a movie. At the 2018 U.S. Amateur Championship at Pebble Beach, Reitan qualified for match play. In the round of 16, his opponent was Victor Hovland, his friend, his teammate, his fellow Norwegian. Hovland won, and then went on to claim the entire title. 2 Norwegians, 1 trophy. The storylines were already diverging. Hovland's career exploded almost instantly. Reitan's took a different path. After turning professional, he bounced between the DP World Tour and the Challenge Tour for years, struggling to find consistent footing in the professional ranks. Think about that for a second. He had every financial safety net imaginable. He could have walked away at any point, and yet he kept showing up, week after week, grinding on the Challenge Tour, a circuit most golf fans have never heard of, because he wasn't done. He didn't have the financial pressures most golfers face when chasing this dream, but that almost made it harder in a different way. Because when you come from where Kristoffer Reitan comes from, every year without results feels like confirmation of what people already assume. That he didn't really need to succeed. That the safety net made it easier to be comfortable. He refused to be comfortable. In 2025, Reitan won the Sudal Open on the DP World Tour, his first professional victory, and finished the season ranked 8th in the race to Dubai, earning him a PGA Tour card for 2026. 7 years. 7 years of flying under the radar, of struggling, of proving people wrong in quiet rooms at small tournaments nobody was watching. And then came Quail Hollow. In May 2026, Kristoffer Reitan outplayed Rory McIlroy, Cameron Young, and 70 other world-class golfers to win the Truist Championship, his first PGA Tour victory. He birdied 2 of his last 5 holes and made clutch par putts down the stretch to seal it. The winner's check? $3.6 million. A rounding error compared to the family fortune and the most important money he ever earned. Kristoffer Reitan is quickly stepping out of his grandfather's shadow. After growing up in the shadow of his wealthy family, he is beginning to carve out his own legacy as a professional golfer. His mother, Siv Bida, has been there every step of the way, posting his scores on Instagram, celebrating every top 10 finish, every good round, every moment she can share as a proud mom. His father gave him the game. His grandfather gave him a name. But what Kristoffer Reitan did with all of that, the years of struggle, the quiet persistence, the refusal to let wealth become an excuse for mediocrity, that part belongs entirely to him. He is now just the second Norwegian golfer in history to win on the PGA Tour. The first, of course, was Viktor Hovland. 2 Norwegian kids, teammates since they were teenagers, and now forever linked in the history books of the sport they both devoted their lives to. Not bad for a kid from Oslo.